You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.
I'm really fascinated by this book. No Finish Line, it is called. And we know him from that cheeky tradie. He went on to the X Factor, then went on to have an amazing acting career. And his battle with brain cancer, Johnny Ruffo, joins us in the studio now. You be He's here.
Always good to see you, mate.
Actually, what are your thoughts of the studio? You've done the rap a couple of times over the years. You did an a cappella rap one year. Remember, you didn't even have a beat. You just did it off your head.
I had to. Couldn't remember it. Now you know why.
Yeah, you were just making stuff up.
But that's what I love about you, Johnny. I mean, there's bigger topics, of course.
The brain cancer.
No, there's more to Johnny Ruffo than the brain cancer. But Johnny, you're brave. Like, don't get me wrong, there's been rap. But what about the time you came in and said, well, I might come back in again soon, guys. And we went, what do you want to do? And you went, I don't know, stand-up comedy?
Oh, that stand-up show. We couldn't air that, could we?
But we had some of it.
A little bit.
We had like a minute.
We got, like, Johnny doesn't do stand-up, and then we filled the boardroom full of Nova staff, and you came in and did a tight five, and it was bloody funny.
It was all right.
It was good.
Who gave you the jokes? Richard Freeman did, didn't he?
Richard Callender.
Richard Callender helped you out. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That was
You
good.
did it right.
What's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
Oh,
I don't know. What's the difference between a lentil and a chickpea?
Get your finger on the dump button.
I wouldn't let a lentil on my face.
Awesome.
I mean, it's a good gag. I mean, it's a nice opener if you've got a... Johnny's chasing the... Oh, I thought you wanted the dump button, Johnny. I wasn't sure.
How long is it on here? Like how many?
Only 8 seconds.
About 8 seconds. It's a good joke. It's a nice icebreaker, isn't it?
Johnny. Johnny, was it hard? Let's talk about your memoir. I mean,
The one you didn't read?
No, yeah, the one that I was just...
You're reading it backwards.
You've just given it to me now as you've rocked up. But was it someone approached you to do this, or did it take a while before you went, yeah, no, I don't really want anyone to know about my life? Or did it take a while to get you over the line?
A little... No.
No?
Finish line.
Yeah, no finish line?
Mm-hmm. No finish line.
A little bit of both, you know. I'd been approached a couple of times to write a book.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of wanted to write a book as well. Mm. But a few people had said, hey, you're too young to write a book.
Yeah.
But I'd always thought, I've done a little bit, you know. And then eventually...
It's been an amazing life.
Yeah, eventually... my management and a few people had convinced me that you've done enough, man. You've done so much in such a short period of time. You know, you did the X Factor.
Yep.
You did Dancing with the Stars, Home and Away.
Remember the high vis? Remember they made you perform in the high vis?
What, on Dancing with the Stars?
No, on X Factor.
X Factor.
Well, X Factor when you first started, because that was a great story. The tradie who came out of nowhere. No, and you were the larrikin. You can't remember, can you? Can you remember any X Factor at all?
X what?
Do you know what Robbie Williams talks about making up stories in interviews? You can just claim that now. Fitzy's going to make them up for you.
But
Can you remember?
I don't remember performing in a high vis.
No.
But the thing about all the things you've done, Johnny, is like they're extremes, or what's the better wording? They're exceptional opportunities for anybody to do. So for you to go on a talent show like that, for you to then release music, for you to then go on Home and Away, they're not things the average person does. So they're of huge achievement. So it makes sense to write a book to share the story of what you've gone through and where you're at now, for other people that are not only interested but might have their own challenges too. There's a huge level of bravery about what you've done.
Honestly, before everything happened with my brain cancer, I felt somewhat invincible. Like every time I'd have a shot at something, like kicking a goal, it worked. It sailed through.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was kicking goals left, right, and centre, or just centre.
Yeah, straight through the centre. So when you got the brain cancer, was there a side of you where you were like, they're not going to beat me. This is not going to beat me. I'm going to kick another goal here.
Yeah, to a degree, I felt that. And then it just felt like everything came crashing down. And it was a horrible feeling.
Yes.
You know, you get that diagnosis. And even when I went in to receive the diagnosis, I felt as if the oncologist had the impression that I already knew. Because I went in there and they started talking about treatment, and I'm like, oh, so it's malignant, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, before
you
that
knew-
actually told you they were talking about the treatment.
I went in
Was that a
there.
joke? Did you? Because you would use humour in those situations.
I use humour to get through everything.
through everything.
Like, I use it as a coping mechanism.
So you said that as a joke, and
I'm
they
like, oh, so it's malignant. Yeah.
and they said yes.
The oncologist was like, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Right? And that
What
was
a
me.
Moment.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
And I had that just sunk. Like, I had to let that sink in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yep.
And I'm just sitting there.
Waiting for another joke, but you didn't have it. That was your joke.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there like, I've got cancer.
Yeah.
And the oncologist is just running through the treatment, which I didn't hear any of.
No.
Because I'm in this other world.
Yeah.
Trying to process the fact that I've now got cancer. And it's still hitting me at
I
this
know, it's
point.
I bet it is.
How many years has it been since the?
Well, it was 2017, August 7th, 2017.
Yep.
I remember, Johnny, when you first came in
5 years.
Yep.
after the diagnosis, and you were here with your beautiful mum, and you said, "Oh, I'm all right. It's Mum who's bloody worried about me." And I remember thinking, yeah, I can imagine as a parent, it's your kid. How's she holding up now?
Yeah, she's all right.
She's okay?
Some stupid article came out saying that I vow to fight to get to Christmas this year.
Yeah.
I'm like, what a stupid article.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
right. You don't know.
Firstly, I don't really have control
No.
of what's going to happen. But I am staying strong, I'm doing
Of course you
everything
are.
I can. I'm doing everything I can.
Are you doing everything? What is your goal? Just to create as many memories as you can with Mum, Tani, your family before you go? Is that your goal?
I don't know if that's my goal. I think I just want to just stay strong.
Yes.
And do when people say do everything you can, all you can do is follow the doctor's orders.
Of course.
You do your chemo, your medication, and everything else you can that they advise you to do. That's pretty much all you can do. And in doing that, that's all you can do. And you feel horrible, as in physically.
Yep.
You feel sick, you feel nauseous. And to counteract that, there are certain things that you can do to help with the
Yes, of course.
nausea, rather.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Have you done anything? Have you any experiences? Have you ticked bucket list items off?
many. A lot of them prior to receiving the diagnosis.
Of course. Well, this is what this book's all about.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Johnny, can I ask, are you angry? Like, are you pissed off?
Yeah, I think so. I'm definitely not happy about it.
Of course. But you couldn't help but feel a sense of being robbed.
Yeah, I definitely do. I'm angry about it. There's so many emotions that I feel about it. I'm angry. I'm sad. There's so many feelings that are just balled up. That sometimes you don't know what to feel. I'm sad. But there are still days where I'm happy. Like Tani and I, we find the goodness and the joy in every little moment that we can.
How do you deal with a moment though where you are feeling angry or maybe anxious about life and things that are going on? So as not to waste the day. What do you do? Because there'd be plenty of people who have that and don't know how to push through it.
I think the best advice I could give is to surround yourself with an incredible support network is the first thing you need to do. And for me, initially, that's Tani. She's number one. Like, for me, she has been the rock at the centre of my universe. Like, she's the sun.
Yep.
And I'm like Pluto, which is not even a planet anymore, is it?
No, they wrote it off
Yeah, I
due
think
to
it
an orbiting
disappeared.
issue, I think.
You're not that cold.
That's Alistair Clarkson there for Essendon.
right. Essendon still coming in.
No, he's so far
Half a
away.
chance?
No,
He's
gone now.
no chance.
No, disappeared.
That's why he's not a planet
No,
anymore.
you're the new
He's
coach.
gone.
I reckon I'd have a crack.
Yeah, you would. Give me a season, I'll get him back up.
But see, you know what? Here's a beautiful little thing for you though. Johnny rocks up this morning. He goes, I've got an Uncle Toby's muesli bar in my pocket. He goes, what the hell is this doing here? That's your breakfast for this morning. That's your beautiful wife giving you breakfast because you haven't eaten this morning, have you?
No, so you're supposed to eat. You're supposed to eat when you have your medication.
Right.
And she gave me this Uncle Toby's, but she's like, babe, make sure you eat this.
Before you have your tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or during, not during, after. Just make sure you eat it before you go on air.
Yeah.
Didn't you just give us a speech about listening to what doctors and other people tell you to do?
She's not a doctor.
She's more
She might as
important.
well be.
Yeah, there you go.
She's, oh man, she knows so very much about like without her, I would be screwed.
Yeah.
Mate,
She's a superstar.
She's beautiful.
Johnny, can I ask a question? And tell me if I'm asking too much here. With the situation, you've spoken about how it has been told to you that it's terminal, right? I'm a huge believer in miracles. I'm a huge believer in the impossible. Are you in a stage, or is there a strategy in place closer to if things were to get worse, where you can have somebody attempt an operation like a Charlie Teo or someone that can possibly give you a greater chance or some further hope? Does that exist?
I don't believe that's the case. I mean, terminal just means that there's nothing currently available to cure the cancer that you have.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that nothing else is going to become available.
Of course.
So who knows? With a bit of luck, something might.
No finish line, mate.
Right?
No
And
finish
that's
line.
the thing. It's like it's not the end of my story.
God, no.
That's
No
why.
way.
That's why it's called No Finish Line.
That book is chapter 1.
And it's not the last
What
time.
chapter are you up to, Fitzy?
I was going to say he'll get
Still,
there.
you've got it upside down at the moment, mate.
On acknowledgements, and I'm having a bit of a cry.
Are you in
the way
there?
that you
That's
talk
at the
about-
end.
Yeah, I know.
Do we get a
straight
mention
to the
or
end.
nothing?
No, the way that you talk about Tani is just beautiful, mate. And it's not the last time because we've booked you in to come in next week to do a stand-up comedy routine and some raps.
I've got some crackers.
We can guess.
Yeah, no more chick here, mate.
You've started with the lentil gear. No, don't even think that.
No.
Just thinking about another one. I thought,
Leave Uncle Toby's out of this.
We love you, mate. We love you. The new book, No Finish Line, is out now. You can get it at any good bookstore. Johnny, thank you very
only
much. Only
good bookstores.
Only good bookstores.
Thanks,
no
buddy.
bad ones.
Great to see you.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Wippa podcast.